Hi guys and welcome to night 2 of Wrestlemania. As promised, we are doing another live show. We're going to be talking about everything that happened on night 2 and we're going to summarize everything there. WJ, isn't that right there?
Alrighty, Jerry. I wanted it to be good, Jerry. I really did there. I wanted it to be good, Jerry. I wanted it. 25,000 people put their life at risk for the show, Jerry. With these new COVID variants, not only were these people going there and spending money, they also put their life on the line to go watch this show, Jer. And I think overall it was trash, Jer. It is what it is.
Yeah, me and you were walking in this thinking, should we be a bit generous? But if you look at the overall card, there's more stinkers than good ones. Overall, some matches were just rushed. Some matches just, I will say one thing out of this, this experiment that we've been doing, WJ, about wrestling, is that since I've been watching wrestling again, some of the matches, they're not going for the kicks and flips and the elbows all the time. They're actually doing wrestling. So if there's one positive thing out of this show, I've seen that it looks like they've now changed the style on how these guys do matches rather than remember they used to just elbows.
I thought some of it had good wrestling, like the main event had a good match, and other matches were okay, but there was a lot of fucking trash on this show. It is what it is.
There was definitely 100% some trash. Shall we get into obviously the first one here? But do you have any other thoughts, overall in the card, or what do you think, WJ? We'll just go card by card,
Overall, I'm disappointed there with Mania. Like the way that they did it, divided in night 1, night 2. What happens is you're putting filler in this thing. You know what I mean? You got to put filler. There's matches that don't deserve to be on the card. And then the way that some of the good matches are on night 1, it doesn't feel like one big Mania with good matches. It feels like two little average pay-per-views back-to-back style.
And I think that it has stopped the night 1, night 2 thing, mate.
I think just one fucking 4-hour show would have been okay there. Fuck.
Because the thing is with this night 1 and night 2 is that what they're doing with this night 1, night 2 is just shoving everybody in. And the thing is, even with night 1 and night 2, there was a majority of people that you couldn't even put in. We actually wanted to talk about this before a start. Me and WJ, by the way, watched it all off air. So me and him were watching it together type deal. And Bailey, do you want to talk about that, WJ? Because there was
Bailey was there all year.
Mm-hmm.
She's there all year during the pandemic. She was when she was tag team champ with Sasha, she was on 3 shows a week, and then she doesn't even have a match for Mania and gets buried by the Bella Twins at the show. Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was very cheap.
The Bellas, celebrating with Hogan. Like, the fans don't even like the Bellas. Fuck, most of the fans hate the Bella Twins. And the Bellas who haven't been there beat up the workhorse that was working all year, and she doesn't even get a match. To me, that's a little shitty there, but I don't know. It's pretty cheap.
There you go. He's
Daniel Bryan, Jer. If the people in the chat don't stop disrespecting Brian, I swear I'm going to cry, Jerry. Don't tell him how much I cried when Brian lost, Jerry. I don't want these trolls to say anything bad about my Brian, Jerry. I'm raging there. I'm raging hard at these tweets about Brian.
But yeah, the whole Bailey thing was like, me and you were looking at it, we're like, what the fuck was that all about? Like, it was like so just like,
Look at Aaron Eaton. He just put me in my place, Jer. Good. That's a lesson for you not to be a crybaby. Oh God, Jerry, this guy just put me in my place.
Definitely, like,
I've been
definitely.
crying all night, Jer.
Fuck. I've been crying stand up all this time, WJ.
I said in my prediction vid with you last night that Roman was going to win there, but
yeah.
Fuck, I'm crying there.
Yeah, like I honestly thought Daniel Bryan was gonna win. I generally didn't think they would end it like that. I thought they were good because my whole thinking going into it was like, if they're gonna do it, like, are they gonna have like a happy ending, because Vince loves happy endings, but they went with Roman. So I don't have a problem with Roman winning at all. Like, I just wanted Edge to win, to be fair, because I thought Edge, like me and you were saying, there's more kind of pay-per-view matches that you could have with Edge. So Edge versus this guy, a few dream matches here, there, and stuff like that. But it looks like they're going to write off Edge and Daniel Bryan, by the looks of it, with those concertos. So
maybe Bryan goes to NXT.
Yeah, that's
probably not there, but they could do that. Put him on NXT to get some ratings a little.
Mm-hmm. They could have Bryan on NXT by the looks of it. People are saying Edge did win.
Well, because of the pin, but like Roman Reigns gets all the viewership, on SmackDown. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, kind of deal. Bryan winning wouldn't have brought ratings; it would have lowered him. Like maybe Edge could go on Raw and win the belt or something.
Well, I think, after, and we'll get into the rest of the card, but I think there's going to be a few switcheroonies. So me and you were saying this before the main event, that I think Drew McIntyre will move brands, and maybe they'll move, like, they'll shuffle it about. Maybe like Edge will stay on SmackDown. They might move Drew McIntyre over to SmackDown, maybe Roman over to Raw, or whatever that might be. But they might do some switcheroonies with this whole draft thing. So, but going forward there, WJ.
Let's go match by match, Jer. What's the first match here, Jer?
One of the fucking worst matches on the fucking card, I think. Randy Orton defeated The Fiend. What a
so basically, for the entrance, they had like a giant music box, and Alexa Bliss is turning the music box, like the big handle or whatever, and then the Fiend comes out. He's posing on top of the box. He dives into the ring with a flying clothesline, a couple of attempts of fucking RKO, blah, 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 a couple of signature move. And then just like, it wasn't that long, the match. Next thing you know, Alexa, like the pyros go off in the turnbuckles that look like Kane, you know what I mean? Kane's pyro going off. And then it's Alexa Bliss on top of the box. She has like maybe like some kind of Jesus crown of thorn kind of thing around the head. I don't know what it represented. There's some kind of thing around her forehead. And it was like bleeding the black blood or the fucking chewing tobacco or whatever the fuck it was. And for some reason, the Fiend was distracted by her, but like usually they're on the same side. She's been on his side for 6 months at least.
Mm-hmm.
She was attacking Orton with fireballs, blah, blah, blah. And then just randomly out of nowhere, she's distracting the Fiend. Like, it makes no sense from a storyline purpose. Makes zero fucking sense at all. The Fiend, why would he even think that she's distracting him personally? Like, I don't even get it. Like, there's no sense to it. He just stops and stares at her. He takes an RKO and then 1, 2, 3 right away. Like, this guy is fucking no selling every move the past 6 months. You can shoot him with a machine gun. He kicks out at 1 or whatever. He takes 1 RKO and it's done. And then they just stared at each other. The lights turned off, and Fiend and Alexa Bliss were both gone. They just disappear, make them both leave. How do we end this retarded booking that makes no sense? Just make them, just close the lights. They'll both disappear. We'll try to come up with something for tomorrow. Like, how the fuck did this happen?
From what I see, they're going to have Orton move away from it. So he's going to move away from it. And they're going to have Alexa Bliss versus The Fiend.
Like, I'm happy that Orton won. I'm happy Orton won because I didn't want him to lose to this goofy garbage there. Because Orton did well all year. I didn't want him to lose, and then his character changes or whatever, unless he's going to turn face. Yeah. Is Alexa Bliss supposed to align herself with Orton now? Like, what the fuck was this? There's no reason for her to turn. It just don't make sense. Like, she threw a fireball in his face a few weeks ago. They had a match. Like, why is she turning on the Fiend out of nowhere? It makes no sense.
I think
I was stuck under your spell and now I'm not. Okay, well, why are you still bleeding bloody weird shit on your face? Is she not satanic weirdo still? Like, she has fucking black shit coming out of her face. Obviously, she's still gonna be gothic, or like, I don't fucking know. It makes no sense. I thought it was retarded. The ending the match like that, I thought it was very cheap, very shitty, like a big waste.
It to me, like, the whole thing to me just seemed like a big waste of fucking time. Like, all this build, and the crazy thing is, WJ, is that the most build of any of these matches was the worst match, ironically enough, because the Randy Orton and Fiend thing has been going on for ages and ages and ages, and there's been so much build on this match only for that to happen, and it wasn't even like a good like ending. They just had her going, I guess, here, or like red, like almost like
black. It was the black substance or whatever there.
Yeah,
like, it don't even make sense. Like, I'm turning on you. Here's black substance coming out of this gadget on my forehead. You're turning on me. Like, why would he even think that she's trying to distract him? Like I don't even get it.
Yeah.
There's
it's
no
like
point.
She's been defending the entire time. Like, so it's like, I don't know. They're probably going to have a feud between her and Bray Wyatt. And also, like, Bray Wyatt hasn't won a WrestleMania match. He's like, I think somebody wrote to me, he's like 0-4 or 0-5 now. And he hasn't won a Mania match. So he's having the complete reverse of Undertaker.
Like, so now is he supposed to be that they do the distraction to keep him looking strong, but he takes the fucking 1 RKO and he's finished. Like, does he still look strong now? I don't know.
Well, see, they do this a lot with him, where it's like once, like, some days he'll look really strong, and then other days he looks really weak. And you could, like, they did that with the Bray Wyatt character, and then it got so much that they had to fucking write the character off and make the Fiend, because they were just buried. Like, he was just literally just like, the Fiend isn't like an Undertaker now. He's just setting up people to fucking beat him at Mania. And like, I get, like, they want to put stock on this guy, but if he's constantly losing at Mania. And again, there's nothing wrong with Randy Orton winning. It's just, I felt that the finish was just very rushed, very cheap, and in a storyline sense, because it's all about storylines there, in a storyline, it just doesn't make any sense. Why would Alexa Bliss, like, turn on him? Like, completely out of nowhere. So,
and she's still being satanic also.
Yeah.
So is she going to go off on her own and be a satanic character or what?
I think she needs to drop it. I think it's run its course now with the whole stuff, like, so I think she needs to drop it personally. Like,
well, the fucking smarks are into that there.
Yeah, it's a good point.
They like the way that she dresses like a little girl or whatever. The anime crowd likes that, so we'll see what they're going to do.
Banks is currently 0-6, so it's like, not a lot of wins, like, for these guys, like. But what was I gonna say there? So any other thoughts about that match? It was only 5 minutes as well.
Two of my favorites got beat, Jerry. Alexa Bliss and Daniel Bryan. Fuck. If anybody in the fucking chat talks against Sasha again like they did last night, Jerry, I think I might lose it there. Start raging at the trolls, Jerry.
Start raging, like.
Gonna get mad here, Jerry.
Oh, man. The very quick, another shitty match. Nia Jax versus Blazer defeated Natalya and Tamina by technical submission. Very cheap.
What fucking world is Natalya and Tamina and a random tag team fucking supposed to be Mania worthy? Like,
yeah,
it's not even good enough for a dog show, Jerry, for God's sake.
Like, you could have easily put, like, another female match in there rather than a tag match. Like, no one actually cares about the women's tag team division. Nah. Like, it's just it's this fake thing that people Natalya, like, people care about her. Like, nobody cares about Natalya. Like, she's been in the company for how long? And what has she actually done? She's done nothing. She's got cat ears. Her cat ears. She's just boring. Nia Jax and Blazer there, like, whatever. It is what it is. Like, who gives a shit?
Filler trash. Had no business being on the card. Fuck.
And you know what the crazy thing is, WJ? This was the second longest match tonight. Was the fucking Natalya match. So what does that fucking tell you? We'll talk about a good match. It was good. I quite like the finish. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had a good match there.
It's pretty good, like. Yeah. I like they did actual wrestling as well, like actual suplexes. Like, there was a part where I said in my earlier video there where just, Sami Zayn was doing a flourish of fucking suplexes and stuff. So it's good to see them actually do fucking wrestling for once.
Do real wrestling. Yeah. The only thing with this was the constant camera shots to Logan Paul there. Somebody wrote in the chat earlier, Logan Paul looked like Kenny Omega. He kind of did there. But
yeah.
With the sunglasses. But he was doing like fuck, and he was getting booed hard, Logan Paul.
Yeah, like, I knew that was going to happen. Like, people, like, a lot of the low gang fans were bashing me in the chat. They're like, the response, by the way, is, he's always in your head, Jerry. He's always, like, as if that's some type of, like, we review wrestling, which is call it like it is. Like, Logan Paul is not needed in wrestling. KSI is, because he's a legitimate fucking, like, he actually won the boxing match. Why would you bring in someone who who drew a boxing match and lost a boxing match? I don't really see the need for Logan Paul. Also, like, I don't, call me old-fashioned, WJ, but I don't think we should reward people for recording people in a suicide forest. So, but maybe that's just me, you know. I don't know there, but
So Kevin Owens gets the big win, and then, well, the big win, was an average win. Gets a big win and a good match, though, but gets the win, and then Sami Zayn, Logan Paul comes in and comforts Sami Zayn or something, and then they start arguing. Logan Paul pushes Sami Zayn to the ground. He lifts up Kevin Owens' arm in the air. And then Kevin Owens does like the Steve Austin smile thing and then gives him a stunner. So basically like recreating a Stone Cold moment, and it was done to Logan Paul there. But
the cameras were pretty bad, like the constant camera shots to him because he was doing this here.
That kind of put a retard spin on the match there, but the match itself was good.
Yeah.
You had Logan Paul doing his cringy faces the whole time, which was a little funny sometime, but like cringy too there. And then he gets the stunner, like when Logan Paul got the stunner, neither of us like reacted like if we were marking out for this. I think we were just sitting there and neither of us went like, oh shit. None of us were just like, all right, I'm just like, okay, time to make the video or whatever.
Yeah, that was literally it. But do you know what I think? See, actually, now that you mentioned it, I think Owen should have stunnered him quicker, maybe, because they took too long with it. Like he was doing this here, like doing that a lot, and I think he should have stuttered him more quickly. But
they were trying to do like a Steve Austin moment, but like Kevin Owens ain't no Steve Austin there.
No, I think you ever seen when Logan walked out? I think in his mind he thought, "Oh, these people are going to cheer me because it's like, you know,
because he's a YouTuber with subscriber or whatever."
As soon as Sami Zayn walked in and went, "And my guest, boo!" And then Sami was like, like that a little bit. He was just like, "Oh shit!" And then Logan came in, and people were like, "Boo! Boo! Get him off!" He just walked in, and then you could see Sami Zayn like whispering, "It's like, oh, don't worry, like we deal with this a lot." Kind of deal, like, but like Logan looked so uncomfortable in that chair. You know,
he looked nervous.
He looked like his hair, like out there, like. But hopefully he doesn't come back, like. So,
to me, I think that having Logan Paul appear in this match, I think it just like it was totally random. It was unnecessary to have him in there, like. And that kind of fucking took away from the match more than anything. I get they want to have like some type of WrestleMania moment there, but this ain't it, Doug. I don't know. But the match was okay.
On to a match that it was all right, but I quite liked the ending of it there. I called it WJ. Everyone said I was wrong. Matt Riddle lost the United States Championship. I'm a happy man with that. Like, I'm a happy man with that.
Matt Riddle does a backflip, takes the fucking big boot from Sheamus in the face. 1, 2, 3. And then he was bleeding from the mouth there. His blood was gushing from his mouth, so we caught him good with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if after this, if they're gonna say like Riddle is gonna become more serious or something, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe this is a failed experiment with the stoner gimmick, and they might just say fuck it with this guy and drop him down status or send him back to NXT. Probably not there. But
I think, yeah, I think, because a lot of people were saying, like Dave Meltzer was reporting that like Vince McMahon found it very funny what Matt Riddle did. Like Vinnie Mac does not like that. Like, see, whenever like he wants you to recover on screen, but if you're just like having no attempt to recover it and you just walk off the set, he doesn't like that, and that's why he lost. That's the main reason why I lost, is because of that promo.
you
And there's
think?
people, I 100%, because Vince hates, like, you're talking about a man that finds people for chair shots and finds people for doing like lesser stuff than what Matt Riddle did. So you know what I mean. It wouldn't surprise me that Matt Riddle I think they'll put Matt Riddle, like they'll have Cesaro, Cesaro and his little tag teams or whatever it might be. They'll switch Cesaro with Matt Riddle, and then Matt Riddle will be in the Cesaro spot for a while, and they might do something with Cesaro down the line, maybe. That's the only thing I could look at, or they just, I don't know, they're going to have to do something with him, but I think it's a failed experiment with Matt
The
Riddle.
shitty character, not really getting over with the fans, the sexual assault allegations or whatever. Like he
Back.
just won the belt recently too, so him winning it quick like that, probably a bad sign maybe there. But either way, Sheamus, former WWE champ, he comes back from a neck injury and all this. It's good for him to at least win a mid-card belt of some sort.
Mm. You were saying there was a botch in the match where Sheamus was on the
Oh, he
top
picked
rope.
him up for like the white noise on the top of the corner on top and he just like stumbled down, and then he stayed on his feet in the white noise position and just hit it in the ring, but they completely fucked that up there. But
Yeah.
he
Oh, I don't
recovered
know.
it, though.
I think overall it was good because Matt Riddle won. That's all I'm taking from it, because I can't stand Matt Riddle. I just think he's the worst gimmick ever. But the next one there, Apollo Crews versus Big E. Fuck me.
So this the Nigerian drum fight or drum match. Basically, they had a couple drums around the ring with like a gong, a big gong thing there, and kendo sticks. Pretty much, there was like 5, 6 drums, a couple of kendo sticks, and that was it. Like, what the fuck kind of retarded match concept was this? You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck kind of shitty match this was. This was like those lame teamed hardcore matches on Raw there. We're going to have a barbecue match, and it's like a barbecue and hit each other with steaks and pork chops or something. They were doing shit like this on Raw for a while, like some kind of music, hardcore match with instruments there. This was a shitty match like this with cheap weapons, and just some random guy came in and attacked Big E. Some random guy shows up, attacks Big E, and then Apollo Crews wins the belt. Like, what happened to Big E's big singles push? I guess they're pushing him off a cliff, Jerry. I don't know.
Yeah. It's the whole like night, I don't know. There's a whole Nigerian fucking drum fight. Like what? Like you pointed out something really good when we were watching it. Like they had this big dong thing, and it was like like when you hit the thing and it goes dong and all that there. Rather than actually throwing Apollo Crews or Big E into it, Big E just lifted it, tapped him slightly, and then dropped it and then left it.
So it was WWE style. We set up a dangerous looking move, but the move gets reversed. And instead you get some kind of cheaper, crappier move kind of deal there. It looked exactly like the cheap hardcore matches on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then just some random fucking guy, a complete unknown guy, comes in, attacks a big black guy with dreads. Came in like a big dude. I guess he's going to be his backup for the little guy or whatever. It might end up being okay, but when you have a complete unknown just show up at WrestleMania and interferes, it's like, who the fuck is this? Like, why should I care about the unknown guy? Like, if it was somebody we know who comes in and interferes, you get a reaction, but just a complete unknown appears on screen, like I almost 2.0 or whatever. And I said that to Jerry. I said maybe at some point they can put the Apollo with Omos or whatever, right? The big, tall, black guy with the smaller guy, and then instead it's another big black guy that came in. But like,
I thought it was Damian Priest at one point.
It's his brother or something.
It looked exactly like Damian Priest. I was like, what's he doing here again? But
I'm not sure if it's the other guy that was a part of Retribution or whatever. I don't know who the fuck he is. Like, why would you just bring a complete unknown, make him interfere, and that's how the match ends? I don't know.
Yeah. It was honestly like the match itself, like me and you were saying this as well, the issues that we seen a lot, while some of the in-ring work in a technical aspect, if you want to say, was good, a lot of the going outside the apron a lot. Like a lot of times they were like doing this cheap going outside of the apron and doing these flips and stuff. And it got to the point where nearly every match was like that. So if it like, and then Big E got the steps, and then Apollo Crews like went to hit him, but then he hit him in the apron. And then eventually I think Big E like threw him on the steps and stuff, but they kept going to the outside quite a lot. Not even like the outside, but like the apron constantly.
It seems like half the matches are taking place on the apron these days. They're like on the outside of the ropes or whatever. The hardest part of the ring, when they're going there in every match, it seemed like every match they were doing this.
Yeah. Honestly, like I just got bored of the whole thing. Like with you know, just it sounds even ridiculous. Like, see, when the announcer came in, he went, "The following contest is a Nigerian drum fight." Like, and I burst out laughing when they were saying it, because it just sounds like such a ridiculous thing. But there wasn't even really that drums used. It was just Kindle sticks, and then the big actual dong thing that they had that didn't even use it. So it's like, what's the actual point using this fucking thing if you're not actually going to use the weapons and you're just going to wrestle outside the apron? Fucking trash. And then, as I said, there was no build-up or anything like that about this guy coming in. And it looks like Big E's going back with a New Day then. By the looks of it, that looks like I mean, how does Big E come back from this? Like,
he's not fighting Roman Reigns and winning the belt off Roman Reigns.
And he's not going to be going for the other championship there either. So it's like, what does he do?
Maybe they just switch him to Raw. Maybe after switch to Raw, and then he fights for the Intercontinental, maybe. I don't know. Or the US on Raw, whichever belt stays on the show there. Big E couple 2 months push is finished. Looks like that there, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets drafted, but yeah, where were they supposed to go with Big E there? It's not like he's main event material there. Let's end this fucking shit. Like, they need to start fucking pushing real stars or trying to create a couple guys there, because somebody like Big E isn't the answer. A big fucking jobber there. Fuck.
Got there. A guy who appeared in the Apollo Crews match was on Raw Underground months ago, apparently. So somebody made a good comment there. A Nigerian match with Japanese sticks.
That's all it was kendo stick half the time. What were they supposed to do with the drums anyway? Like, there's fuck all to do with the drums.
The legend himself there, Double Z TV, the legend himself, wrote a Big E's push lasted longer than Billy Gunn's push in the late 2000s. Pretty much like, because where do you go with him then? Because me and you were talking about this whole thing where, like, I presume Big E was going to win. And then, because the hometown crowd, Big E then has other people to face, and they'll just get rid of Apollo Crews' field gimmick. But it looks like they're going all in with Apollo Crews' gimmick. So
the guy said nobody gave an absolute fuck about Apollo Crews for 2 years. Here's a weird gimmick, and you're champ now. Like,
you are a legend, Double Z TV. Don't sell yourself short there, mate.
I don't know where they expect to go with this, with Apollo Crews. Like,
I don't know.
So it's the small man, big man kind of deal, just like AJ is doing on Raw there. Here's the same gimmick, but on SmackDown.
That's what it's going to be. And they're going to drag it out. And every single night on SmackDown, you're going to have Apollo Crews doing fucking some Nigerian gimmick.
He went from catering gimmick to Nigerian gimmick overnight, and he wins at Mania. Here's an unknown guy rushing to the ring. Who is he? Who gives a fuck? You are the new catering champion. Thank you. What am I watching here? Fuck.
He's a fucking. It's just the whole. The more I get into this card, WJ, the more I fucking hate Night 2 now. To be honest with you,
how can he still call himself Apollo Crews if he's Nigerian now? Like,
yeah.
Shouldn't he change his name? Like, it makes no sense. Apollo Creed is Rocky movie, American guy. So now he's a Nigerian guy. What is he going to be there? I am Bobo Matunda. That is my real name.
Bobo Matunda.
You will call me by my real name.
Do you know the way, my brother? Yeah. Do you know the
Apollo
way to Apollo Crews? And his Nigerian accent isn't the best either. Like, because he did a reversal.
It's a reverse of Kofi. He's American now. He has an accent. Like, it makes no fucking sense there. Come on, fuck.
Fuck. Right. I want to talk about this match because this, in my opinion, was the worst match. No, actually, the Randy Orton match was pretty bad. Like, but I would say this is pretty much up there. Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. I fucking hated this match. And it's not because I'm not going to be edgy or anything like that, where I'm going to say I hate the women or anything like that. The crowd legit didn't give a shit about this match at all. Like, I'm not even joking you. There were people actually, see, when when Rhea Ripley walked in, there was people, and I showed WJS, people actually seated when she walked in. Like, there was not really that much of a pop. The girl singing her theme song was just god awful. It sounded like a cat being castrated. The match itself, like, Asuka was carrying this entire match. There was no energy to it. Nobody gave a shit. Like, the crowd was completely dead in this entire match. Like, completely dead, just like me at fucking 5 a.m. But I was watching this, and I got to the point where I was talking to Double J about other things. Like, it was that boring. I fucking hated this match. There wasn't even any good moves either. Like,
The
no good
match
moves.
was she was trying to be way too slow and methodical, or whatever you called it there.
Mm-hmm.
Just making goofy faces, like I complain AEW, they don't sell enough, not enough facial expressions or whatever. So you didn't have any stars like Cena or Taker or anything, only Edge there, but like Rhea Ripley, her face it was bad acting. It was too much with her big one. Rhea Ripley, the broadest shoulders I've ever seen. So she looked manly. She had this fucking black lipstick, which just made her face look fucking weird there. She was boring. Like, she was
really
slow. It was like Big Show fucking hit the person, just fucking stare, then take a couple steps, hit again, and it's fucking. Then she grabs her and just hits, and then waits, and another punch, and then wait and do a weird phase. Just fucking get on with it, fuck.
Yeah, that's because I noticed, see, when she was doing these methodical moves, she was doing this here, and then every time she did it, she went like this here.
So just retarded like, face the whole time.
the entire time. The entire time, and I'm like, fuck me, end this match now.
It was too much, and the attire and like that, the broad shoulders, the haircut, like who the fuck is this? Like, just bring this girl a month before the show. I am Rhea Ripley. I will win the match. Like, shut the fuck up there. Who cares? Like, this was boring. Like, I understand Mick Foley wrote a Facebook post there, and he says she deserves a push, and he's jacking off to her there, and Charlotte beat Rhea Ripley, so the Smarks want her to win or whatever there. If Charlotte would have won, I think Asuka, if Charlotte would have been in the match, I think Asuka would have retained, so that the Smarks could get their revenge for Charlotte's evil win against Asuka in their mind there. So this girl is just like a replacement. Like, she's boring, like, in the ring, and the character is boring. It doesn't appeal to me. Like, I don't know what the fuck she is. Is she like a UK heavy metal person or whatever? I don't know what she's supposed to be there. But she's fucking boring, and she was boring in the ring, and she just won in the flat fucking Double Z TV. I couldn't get hard for anything during the show. Especially the women matches were the most unappealing. Fuck.
Oh, Jesus. Bad, like.
The tag team match, the women's tag, it's Fat Nia Jax, Ugly Baszler, Fat Ugly Tamina, and just Natalia. That's like fucking boring. Let's say, like could you have like a more unappealing fucking women's tag team match than this? Fucking terms of looks, like,
yeah,
this is probably the least attractive women's match of all time. Like,
yeah.
Like, and then you have this woman, fucking gargantuan girl, who fucking wins against Asuka. I don't know, like, I don't think
Well,
she deserved to win. Like, what the fuck is this? Who is this?
well, to your point, like, see, these fans were like turning around saying she was getting buried, she was getting buried, she was never given any opportunities. She's main evented WrestleMania back to back twice and won. So this concept that, like, and the thing is that, like, these people were like, oh, we want this girl to be in here. If you all wanted her, then why was there no fucking reaction there at all? And then to your point, WJ, the thing is with the women's division is that some of them just can't wrestle. Like this talk of like a women's revolution or whatever. The Ripley girl, Asuka's decent, like to say the least. It's her style or whatever. But this talk that it's real women's wrestling. The wrestling, I've probably seen better Divas matches in the early noughties that were better than this. I have to be honest. Like it was so boring. And the women that we're seeing now is that the good looking ones that are on the show look like they got shot in the face with a makeup shotgun from Homer Simpson. Like they're just like plastering this, like, I don't know where this trend has come from, where they think they need to pack it all in, like as if it's fucking Play-Doh in their fucking eyeballs, like. But
So I defend Sasha Banks's looks against the trolls sometimes, but yesterday she had some weird looking makeup on there, some kind of weird fucking dark makeup in the face. It didn't really do her justice there, but
yeah.
like, I don't know, I guess, like, who's the last good looking blonde that won the belt? Like maybe Carmella or something.
Probably, like.
Charlotte won a lot of belts. She's blonde, but she's another gargantuan or whatever.
And you have Alexa Bliss, who I think is actually good
Alexa
looking,
Bliss,
but they've ruined her like with this like childish gimmick. It's like, they've just ruined her with this childish gimmick where she's just acting like a child, and it's like, ugh, fucking stop, like.
So maybe Alexa Bliss could win a belt soon there, so people can have a woman wrestler that they actually care about. You know what I mean? The Smarks, they like the women that they can act like SJWs for. You know what I mean? I want the ugly girl from NXT to win. I want the Japanese one to win, to be like Meltzer. You know, they did like you need like a real woman that's hot that people are gonna care for. You know what I mean? To be champ. Don't punish the good-looking ones just so you push the ugly fucking SJW wrestlers. You know what I mean? Just because it's no longer the divas doesn't mean you can't have a hot women's champ, let's say. Like Bianca Belair is cute or whatever, but like there's nothing wrong with a woman that that's hot that could win one of the two belts. I don't know.
Yeah, but overall, like, even if we put all of this aside, the match was completely awful. No reaction. Oscar was literally carrying the match at one point, and it was so boring. Like this methodical kind of, like, I don't know where that's the thing with this. I've seen this in NXT where they're teaching some of these stars to do methodical. A methodical can work for people like Daniel Bryan, or it can work for like technical wrestlers like Bret Hart, because they have the charisma or the backing to do other stuff in the ring, not just the methodical stuff. But a lot of these wrestlers are just like, look at the twist of the fingers and look at the twist of the thumb, and it's like nobody cares about that. You know what I mean? Like,
somebody wrote, how come the Smarks like skinny looking men and muscle women or whatever? Like, say, because they like the twinks. Fuck, you know what I mean? That kind of group of people, they like the twinks. That's what the gays like. It is what it is, right? So they keep cheering for these little twinky fucking guys there. Fuck. all these little indie guys, Will Ospreay, and they all have that twink look there. That's why all the fucking hardcore fans like these little guys, because they're twinks, which is what they're attracted to, these people, the Finn Balor's and shit like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll move on to the main event, WJ. Okay. Roman Reigns with Jey Uso and Paul Heyman.
Smarks like to get pegged. That's why I maybe too there. That's part of it there.
It's fucking true, like, to a certain degree. This things are going to shit, like. So it is, like, the world's going to shit, WJ. Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan, a decent match, I would say. Good back and forth. I actually quite enjoyed the match. But
I thought the match was pretty good, yeah. Pretty good match.
I don't know what it is with the ending, but it just kind of, I think maybe I just had my high ups with Edge, and maybe that's why. And sometimes, like, I can be blinded sometimes by that, where I like want one wrestler to win and then I fucking hate the match. But overall, the match was good. It's just that I would have liked Edge to win, but what can you do? Like, but this was by far the best match on the card. Like,
what it is with this is best for business. Same here. I like Daniel Bryan, but like I said in the prediction, Bryan ain't winning this. You know what I mean? Roman gets the viewership. It is what it is. He gets the big views on SmackDown. Bryan was champ on SmackDown. The views weren't as high. So it is what it is. Like Triple H says, it's best for business. I guess that Roman wins. But if Edge would have won, you have the returning, say, guy from the past, a heroic comeback from the broken neck or whatever the fuck it was, concussion or whatever there. Comes back, wins the Rumble. Then you could have had a couple of big money matches with Edge kind of deal, but maybe Edge goes to Raw to win the belt or something, because Raw needs somebody to draw ratings. So
I agree.
It would make sense, Edge on Raw. I didn't think Edge would fight Roman Reigns to begin with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If they were going to have Roman win, you might as well have just did Roman against Edge. Or Roman against Bryan, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So Edge losing puts a sour taste in the mouth of Edge fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like at the beginning of the stream, there was failed trolls coming at me. You're mad about Bryan or whatever. I know these guys want to attack somebody there.
Yeah.
They gotta be edgy there, but like,
yeah.
But like, there's also Edge fans that might be disappointed. You know what I mean? No, the fans were disappointed. They were all yelling Roman sucks and all this. But people are going to
decision that they had turning Roman Reigns heel. Could you imagine if he was still a face and they did this?
You think the Mania crowd, aka the Smarks, would have said Roman sucks if he was still face? Or
yeah,
but they turned on him, I guess. Well, Eddie Beveridge, Bobby versus Edge would be great. They could do that. Like, Edge would get more views than Bobby Lashley, that's for sure. There, maybe it happened. You know, they need somebody. If Roman Reigns is getting the views on SmackDown, keep him there as champ. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Best for business, blah, blah, blah. But stick somebody on Raw, because the ratings are fucking going downhill big time. It's low during Mania season there. They already broke their worst rating of all time several times there. Like, if you just have the belt on Bobby and you just put on a shitty, boring show like they do most weeks, and there's nothing there, no edge for ratings, fuck all. What the fuck's gonna happen with Raw? It's gonna tank, fuck.
Yeah. It's all good.
Like,
Tommy Pigeon's here to save us, WJ.
Pigeon's gonna do it there. But half the crowd wanted Edge to win, and the other half wanted Bryan, probably there.
Yeah.
Like, part of me, I was thinking Roman retains for Fox and the ratings, but like, also I said to Jerry, I said, if like the whole crowd, are they gonna leave home with a happy ending? It's the first show back during the pandemic. The crowd pays big money. They're risking COVID. Do you send them home happy, or do you send the crowd home pissed off like they do every time with Bryan stuff and all of this?
Yeah.
So they said WWE did a fuck the smarks kind of move there. Well, not really. Roman's the star. It is what it is. Fuck, you know what I mean? I understand that. Like, I know some people in the chat want me to rage about Bryan there, but like, you got to go with what's true, and what's true is that Roman is getting the viewership, whether the Mania crowd says fuck you or not. You know what I mean?
Big merchandise seller as well. Like, he's selling a ton of merchandise.
He's
As
doing the best work of his career right now. You know what I mean? There's no denying it there. His promos are fucking on point these days there. Him and Roman Reigns, or him and Paul Heyman, it works. You know what I mean? It's working. The viewership has gone up on SmackDown. It's beating Raw. It's fucking Roman Reigns on that show. You know what I mean? And it's working. So he was doing good too. He does good faces as a heel. You know what I mean? When they were coming out and they were doing the posing at first, and Roman was staring at them and stuff.
Yeah.
No, he's coming into his own, Jerry. Fuck. Lesnar needs to come back to save us or whatever. Well, that's the thing. There's no Lesnar right now, you know? No Lesnar. I want Roman versus Rock in the future, maybe. They teased that earlier in the year, but it didn't happen.
Apparently, Rock is doing Black Adam for another failed DC experiment again. And I mean, they've been teasing that fucking Black Adam movie for how long now? But apparently, that's the reason why I couldn't do it. So it'll probably be next year. But I hope next year they do something better than this, like, because this was just fucking shit. To be honest with you, like, some of the in-ring work is promising with the actual suplexes and actually doing proper in-ring work. They're no longer doing this, like, there is a few indie stuff that was seen there with the elbows and stuff, but not as heavy as like previous years. And I think they're dialing back on this. I think they've realized that, like, this indie shit just doesn't work. It's not marketable. There's no money in it. There's no money for indie wrestling. And but I think they should have probably had Edge or Daniel Bryan one at the end for a happy ending, maybe for those.
Well, Jerry, you're a smart you there. You're upset, Jerry. You're raging. You're raging, Jerry.
So what I'm gonna do, WJ? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a shitty website like Bruce Blitz and tell people to subscribe to my network, WJ.
It's time there. That's time there.
Gosh.
So I thought the main event was good. The people in the crowd didn't there, but
yeah. Well, I think
sometimes the best decision isn't always the popular one. What can you do there? And nowadays it's like the cool thing to shit fucking, you know what I mean? To shit on the product no matter what. These fucking goofs in the crowd are probably jacking off to AEW anyway, you know what I mean? They would have booed no matter what. Fuck these fans there, but
there was not really a lot going on, if I'm being honest.
So overall, I think it sucked to me personally there. That's not because I'm raging about Brian. I think that match was good. I got no problem with Roman winning. It's the rest of the matches, like Orton and Alexa Bliss. Like, what the fuck was this there? Like,
Jesus.
All this fucking retarded build up and stuff, and it ends like that. Like, what the fuck is this? Then the women's tag was cheap. Apollo Crews was cheap. Kevin Owens was an okay match, but it just leads to some shitty fucking Stone Cold rehash thing with Logan Paul. Like, fuck. Sheamus and one, that was okay there, but like, who gives a fuck about Matt Riddle, really, there? Yeah. The Asuka match was fucking boring. Like, I don't know. I give this a 5 out of 10 personally.
For night 2, I'm gonna give it a 4. What would you give it overall?
5. Do you mean for both nights?
For both nights, what would you give it?
I gave the part 1 a 6. This one a 5, so average it out to 5.5 for everything.
I'm gonna give it a 4, like.
Overall.
Yeah. I think it's a combination of it being late, but also I think it's a combination of, if, like, for me, looking at the card, there's more bad matches than good, if that makes sense. And I felt as if I didn't walk in with any high expectations, and I felt worse for it. So maybe it's a bit harsh giving it a 4, but I'm sticking to McKinnon started. Yeah, I'll give it
so, like, yesterday, I thought it was more of a fun night.
Yeah.
Like, yesterday was more fun. It was cheaper, lower, like, less popular matches, but it was more fun. This night, they just fucking threw me off right at the beginning with this Orton bullshit or whatever. And then you had subpar matches. Like, the main event was good, which was what matters there, but
yeah,
it depends. Like, a lot of people are going to say it sucks no matter, like, who won. Like, if Brian would have won, the Roman fans would say it sucks. If Edge would have won, people would have said a bunch of 50-year-old guys always win the belt or whatever. The legend comes back and wins the belt. Roman wins. The Smarks will be pissed off. Like, you can't keep him happy, but Roman winning is the safe bet, I think, for the ratings, and he's doing good. Just fucking send Edge to Raw there. Raw needs a star. Bobby's like, we're happy that Bobby won and stuff. You know, a lot of people wanted Bobby to win, but how many ratings did Bobby draw in TNA when he was champ? 300,000 were tuning in to watch Bobby Lashley as TNA champ. Maybe less, you know what I mean? So it's not like Bobby's the juggernaut that's going to bring the ratings. He's going to be presented as a bigger deal and stuff, but in the long run, Bobby's not going to bring rating. Raw's going fucking downhill fast. What they need to try to do is not just maintain, because then you're just going to have a slow decline there. What they need to do is try to fucking turn things around ASAP before Raw fucking dies there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it'll take a long time before it dies, but it's, it might not take as long as we think, the way things are going with those numbers. You know what I mean?
Well,
And
me
if
and you,
if we get more manias like this with no names on the card except for a couple guys like Edge and Shane McMahon, like Roman Reigns, a homegrown talent, and I'd say he's a new age wrestler. He's more bigger right now than Edge is currently, maybe. Do you agree with that, or do you think Edge is right now bigger than Kurt? Like, in this day and age, like, Edge was a bigger star, but like back in the day, but like right now, like in 2021, like, I don't know if like, I don't know, fuck, maybe if Edge would have won, ratings would have went up a bit, but probably not that much. Let's say.
I think the problem is with the stars that the problem is that it's the casual fan. The casual fan isn't clicking with any of these stars. Like Roman does get ratings, no denying it, but and if you cast your minds back when me and WJ we started 10 years ago, Raw was getting what 4s, 5s, 6s at one point, and now they're getting 1s. So
Well, they went around like at the end of, like, in the year 2000, the ratings peaked, and then when Austin retired, it started a fucking steep decline. Like, even during Attitude Era, it started to decline. And like 10 years ago, they were still around close to the 4 there, but they were good. They were already going. They had lost a lot by then.
I think
But
they needed like because we reviewed NXT. There's nobody really that stands out that
no,
you can move to the main roster. And what I think is that if you are going to overturn WWE, you got to stop focusing on this indie mentality of let's pick this guy in the indies and we'll get him over. They need to stop that mentality. They need to go back to what they did with, you remember the Florida Championship Wrestling that they had back in the day? That actual one that created fucking Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, Seth
OVW.
Rollins, John Cena,
Cena came from OVW with
Batista.
Batista and Lesnar and stuff. Yeah.
So what they need to do, in my opinion, is they need to get NXT, get rid of all the fucking idiots, remove them completely. Just say I'm sorry, but you're just not fucking good enough. And they need to actually get a blank slate, a wrestler with a blank slate. No, like not saying no experience, but some type of experience, and homegrown and build them. That's what WWE did. Remember with Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, they did that with the New Generation era. That's what WWE need to do. They need to focus on their own homegrown talent and build them up over time. This kind of cheap pots of these guys that it's rarity it might work. AJ Styles, it worked, but not everyone's going to be an AJ Styles to get fucking over. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to see more misses than anything. So what I think WWE need to do is they look at their NXT roster and say, okay, who can we visually see as a main event champion? Okay, none of them. Let's fucking remove them. Let's get people in that are actually athletic, that can wrestle, that can cut a promo, and and they're actually good at acting. Like, I'm not asking for much, but can we have a wrestler, for the love of fuck, that can actually act? You know what I mean? So I think they need to do that.
So, Child of Reason, go after the real man again, recruit and weight rooms, bouncers, tough guys. That's it. They need bodybuilder. guys that stand out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a
They need
bunch of
genetic freaks.
identical fucking midgets that look like average Joes. That ain't good. That they look more like cyclists than wrestlers, for fuck's sake.
And we're not coming off anti-smarky here as well when we say it, but if you look at, like, first of all, the average age of a person here is at least like 35 at one point as well. Like, there isn't even really any young talent. If you actually look at it overall, there's not really any young talent. They're all 35, and these are the guys that are quote unquote new guys. Damian Priest is like, what, 40 something? And he's an up and coming newcomer. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense to me. What I would honestly do is just homegrown, pick some people, bouncers, these guys that are genetic freaks, and just fucking put them in and build them. I'm not saying that every single wrestler needs to be some jacked up, roided up guy, but can we have like legit superstars and have cool finishers? They need to go back to that, WJ. Have cool finishers. Don't copy off Austin and The Rock, etc., or stop it with a choke slams. Actually, come up with moves that people are going to be like.
Come up with new moves, fucking new match concepts, like not the fucking goofy Nigerian drum match. Come up with something new. Like, all the fucking concepts are from 10 plus years ago. They can't come up with anything else. You know what I mean? There's nothing else that they can do, for fuck's sake. Some other kind of fucking, I don't know, fuck.
Somebody wrote their age means nothing, and I understand what you're saying there about the age, but whenever majority of your roster is hitting 40 and they're up and comers, then that's an issue, because whether you like to admit it or not, time's going to hit all of us, and the expectancy, the life expectancy of a wrestler is almost half by like going to the ring constantly. If you have like a 40-year-old who's an up and comer, give or take, they're going to last 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years maximum, and then they have to go, and then you have to find somebody else. So what they need to do is find a bunch of young guys that can actually build the roster up and push it. Homegrown talent. Go back to that there. Not this NXT, like Adam Cole. I'm sorry, but Adam Cole cannot be on the main roster. He's not even like.
They have a new guy, Parker Boudreaux, that looks like Brock Lesnar. Have you seen this guy?
No, I haven't seen him, no.
He looks like fucking like he would be the son of Lesnar big time. He's big, looks like Brock, an athlete. So they got a couple of these guys. There's the son of Rick Steiner that's being trained right now, stuff like this. They're starting to bring a couple of big guys there, but maybe Omos is the future, Jerry.
Maybe Omos. He is. So
he looks like Soy Lesnar. I don't know if he looks like a soy boy, but he's big. I wouldn't call him a soy boy face to face there. He's like 350 pounds or something. I wouldn't call him that there, but
I think that's us then, WJ.
That's about it, Jerry. Fuck.
I'm gonna pass out for about 10 days. Well, I want to say this here. It's like 6 a.m. here now, but me and WJ just want to thank you all for your support. We've been uploading consistently, haven't we, WJ? Consistently over WrestleMania. Yes. So if you guys want to check out the past videos that we did, please put a like on it and subscribe. Hopefully we get 1,000 subscribers very soon there. But yeah, overall, me and you are very happy with the channel, WJ. It's actually going well so far, like.
Yes. It's staying open. More fucking videos to come there. It's the 3-month anniversary, Jerry, of our channel there. And we're just fucking getting started there. We got wrestling 5 days a week starting, Jerry.
5 days a week.
The new era coming now. There, NXT on Tuesday, AEW And the biggest show of all, Impact on Thursday nights. Yeah.
On Twitch there, WJ.
From now on, we're only covering Impact. I'm fucking done with WWE after this show. Fucking done with AEW. Only Impact from now on, guys.
There was actually people writing that on Twitter whenever I was making a stream. They're like, I'm only watching UK pro athlete wrestling, something like that. I'm just exclusively watching that. I'm like, don't fucking lie to yourselves, you fucking muppets. Like, you fucking, like, idiots. But in regards to the channel, I'm actually having fun doing these streams. On a side note, if there's one good thing about this WrestleMania, it's a great distraction about what's happening in my country at the moment. If anyone who doesn't know, there's been a series of riots in my country. It's a fucking disaster. There's violence like nearly every day. Thankfully, I'm away from it. So there's no, like, where I live, I'm lucky enough for that, but it's just constantly on the news. So at least with WrestleMania, it's a great distraction. And doing this channel is a great distraction away from it. So, but yeah, I personally, for me, I'll just be uploading wrestling content on here flat out. With Raw, I'm going to review it the day after. So if me and WJ, we might do a live stream, not on the night of Raw, but the night after, because I don't think I could stay up again for
the Raw after Mania, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I could stay up for that, but we'll just do it on that, either that morning or that whatever it might be there. So but yeah, if you want to interact with us as well, the Facebook group there, just type in Wrestling Juggernauts. It's in the link of one of our videos there. If you just go on there, I'll just add you on. But we have a little community talking about wrestling there, so it's good to see that. So, but yeah, all overall very happy with the way the channel's going. WJ, we're taking over. WJ, take over, man.
We got Young King Brian, aka the Goof, in the chat, Jerry.
Oh yes.
With the Goof backing us, Jerry, we're unstoppable.
The Goof is the pinnacle of. Oh, by the way, the Goof is the pinnacle of our group. He's our wee mascot there. But also shout out to the Smart Busters there if you want to. It's all about giving to the community. So if you want to check, I'm actually going to watch their live stream here. That happened there. So they did a wee live stream. If you want to check them out, give them their support there. Much appreciated there. So they did a wee live show there, which I still need to check out. They're too busy fucking uploading this shit, but I'll check them out. Give them a wee like there, a wee subscribe there. But WJ, you want to sign us out there?
Until next time. It should have been Brian, you fucking dicks.